Hello again, I am Jim Bob. Welcome back to American Outback. And today we have a lot of seeding to do. And to sort of fertilise our fields a bit and get them prepped for planting as well. However, one thing I did notice was that having cultivated field 119 in the previous episode, and I think possibly field 20 as well, they actually are in need of ploughing. And of course, having already cultivated them, if we try and use our cultiplow with a worker, he'll just refuse to do it because the field is already cultivated. So, what we're going to do is, instead, we're going to plant some grass on that field. So I've gone ahead and I've bought the Kuhn 4-meter seeder with the seed tank at the front. And we're going to get this guy up and running in just a moment. There we go. And we're going to want grass. And the reason I've had to buy this seeder is because obviously the Great Plains YP2425A will not plant grass. It'll plant pretty much everything but. So let's drop a couple of seed bags down here so that we can fill up on those. There we go. That's the first one. This will leave 500 seed left over. But what I also want to do is I'm going to use the... No, we'll use our Challenger for this. I want to start using some of that slurry that we've got. So we've got over 100,000 litres of slurry now. So we're going to take our spreader here. Got 12 and a bit in there. We'll top this back up. We're going to take this over and we're going to spread slurry on field 119 first. Get that fertilised stage. And then we'll plant the grass over the top of that, and then we're going to take that grass, mow it, and turn it into silage. That's the plan. So we're actually going to open up a clamp in the BGA, because we haven't done silage on this farm yet, and to start really getting a lot of progress now that we've got some of the cheap stuff out of the way, the cheap fields, we're going to start needing quite a lot of money. Our cows are bringing in around about $40,000 in milk a day at the moment, so with operating costs etc we're making probably about $30,000 in profit a day off our cows. The 10,000 is being eaten up by sort of maintenance costs for vehicles, for animals, building upkeep and so on and so forth. So yeah, we need to basically improve our income stream. We have some good crop to sell. We have a lot of soybean, we have a lot of sunflowers. Prices at the moment though are not fantastic, so once those prices improve we will sell those as well. I'm looking at a couple of different things to purchase, one of which is something I want to get is going to be a Holma Terra variant, although can't necessarily say that's the first thing that we're going to buy. I also want to get us a manure spreader, because we're getting a large amount of manure building up now that we can't do anything with yet other than our greenhouses. So it'd be nice to be able to spread that on our fields as well. But for now we'll get our slurry up and started on this field here, and then we'll get our seeder going behind it, and we'll fertilise and seed this with grass. So I'm trying to remember how wide this thing is on a working width. I think that'll be okay. Let's give that a quick test. Yeah, oh, that's about spot on. Just slight little overlap on the edge there, just in case the field shape changes a little bit, which it is wont to do from time to time. So he's off and running. Let's go back to our seeder. And we'll get this guy in place. There we go. He's off and on the move. You can see our Challenger working away there. Like I say, I do like to see stuff in motion on fields. That's perhaps something that would be really nice in the future, is if we could actually see on some of these worked fields, not all of them, but every now and again on a worked field that's owned by the AI, it'd be nice to be able to see the AI, the computer actually working that field. If we saw, maybe a harvester on there, or if we saw a planter or a cultivator, something, just to give the life a little bit of map, the map a little bit of life. I think that would look fantastic. I doubt it'll ever happen, but it's just one of those really nice little additions I think would make all the world of difference to the game. So let's get our seeder underway. There we go. And let's see, we're actually running slightly faster on this, so we're going to keep an eye on this guy, because obviously this is going to need refilling quicker. But because he's working at more than double the width of our seeder, it gives us that window of time that we need to disappear back and top up, as long as we can make a complete pass. Which I'm starting to wonder if we can actually do a complete pass before we run out of slurry. I know what I'm going to do. We did this the other day on Mustang. Let's go to our options and helper slurry, and we'll refill automatically from our cow slurry tank like that. That way we'd have to keep sending him back and forth, and we have plenty of slurry to work with. So we'll leave this guy to fertilise his field. Let's check in on our other fields as well. So field 20 also is going to need so excuse my voice here. Field 20 is also going to need some grass treatment. Field 2 is grassed already and ready to be cut for baling. And then we need to fertilise and plant fields 45 and 6. And I'm not entirely sure what crop we're going to go with just yet. I mean, as you can see, we've got quite a lot of sunflowers and soybean, but they will be getting sold as soon as the markets improve. We could go with canola. We could go with corn. We haven't done corn for a little while. We could split things up, so we could maybe do canola on 45 and corn on field 6. That would probably work. And that would give us, slightly better matching sort of totals as well. So we'll go with those. So we're going to need our better seeder for that. We're going to use the quad track, just because I love using the quad track for that. Now what I like to do is I like to obviously run at ×5 to simulate the day, but what I don't like is when a field starts growing and you're still planting on it. So generally what I tend to do is turn plant growth off entirely, as you saw there, when I'm in planting, and get all of my planting done, and then once that is done, then I'll turn the plant growth back on again, and then we can deal with everything as we need to. So let's hook up to our Great Plains seeder. So the seed tank's at the other side of the building. Let's pop open the lid. Up to the seed tank and fill her up. Alright, so I will see you on the field. So we're going to start off with field 6, and we're going to plant corn on this field. Let's get lined up, and there we go. Oh, I haven't cleaned the field. Alright, so we won't be starting with field 6. Instead, I'm going to take this over to field 45. I'm actually going to have to switch tractors, because we're going to need something powerful to pull our horse cultivator. I think it's the Tyranno, I think it is, that we have. So we're going to need something a little bit more powerful than what we have left available to us. Our Optum is a nice tractor, but it doesn't have 400 horsepower, and we're already using our case. We're already, sorry, using our Challenger. So in that case, let's set up our cultivator, not cultivator, our canola instead, like that. We'll bring the Optum over here to start work on this field. And then we'll cultivate field 6. There we go. So I need this all the way back to the farmhouse to pick up our cultivator. Okay, so as fun as the Optum is with those dual narrows, it does seriously impact your turning radius. So we're just going to switch to regular wides for this planting job. We can always put them back on again when we need them later. So let's get this hooked up to our seeder on field 45 and start planting our canola. And there we go, that's the canola planting underway. So let's check in on our other stuff. We are doing okay on grass on our third little pass up the field. There's our slurry tanker chugging away. We'll do the same to field 20 just there once we've done this field. So we'll slurry it, we'll grass it, and then we'll basically just be running crops off of fields 45 and 6 for the next harvest. See our cows looking away there. We're up to 90 cows now. Let's just take a quick look at our animal overview page. You can see our cows' reproduction rate is pretty fast now. We're getting 2 cows a day. Oh, we're up to 91 cows now. And they're producing quite a lot of manure and quite a lot of slurry. You can see the slurry's going down because we're using it at the moment. But already we're up to 20,000 litres of milk just since midnight. So you can see definitely becoming quite profitable as a milk business. Like I say, we're making over $40,000 a day at the moment, so it's all looking pretty nice in that respect. So while we watch our slurry tanker do its thing, we're going to talk some mod news. There is another update in testing at the moment for Emerald Valley logging, and another one for Smoky Mountain logging as well. And then beyond that, we have some very interesting stuff. So we have a Tatra Terno log truck. So I'm wondering if this is an updated version of the Terno, or a variant of the Terno that Toxicom released about a week ago, just over a week ago. That could be quite interesting. We have the Dooley 23-foot bale trailer from CD Models is in there. A Great Plains 3-point adapter, that could be quite interesting. We have some Herbst trailers, an Albert silage roller, the forage and chip silo still in testing as well. That's been in testing for a little while now. And then we have some stuff which I believe is placeables from Black Sheep Modding, which are going to be part of their upcoming The Valley, the Old Farm map. I'm hearing rumours that there will be a fully customizable farmhouse on that map. So I can't say with any real authority that that's definitely going to be the case, but these are the rumours that I'm hearing, and it looks as though we will have placeable grain silos and placeable buildings, farmhouses and all sorts of bits and bobs. And to kind of back that rumour up, at the moment in testing we have a farmhouse, water barrels, straw down holder and grain storage silo placeable. Now, if the rumours that I've been hearing are true, then that means that all those mods are going to be from Black Sheep, and that would be fantastic if that is the case. That we will finally be able to get placeable silos for starters. That in itself is going to be huge, because it means that, you know, maps where you've always wanted to set up a second farm but haven't really been able to do so without putting lots and lots of sheds down and just dumping stuff in sheds, that will no longer be a major issue. Also, on some maps, like for example Sandy Bay, you've got the main farm at the top and then you've got the little farm at the very bottom of the map. There's no silo at the bottom map, so again, if you wanted to store grain there, you'd have to dump it in buildings. Now, if we get these silo placeables, assuming they go through testing and they work and everything and they get passed and approved, now you can actually put those placeable silos in that bottom farm, and that becomes a fully operational farm. You know, you've already got your storage buildings, you've already got you know, places where you can store your equipment and bales and so on and so forth, and now you can actually have proper placeable grain silos that you can store your grain in as well. That'll be fantastic if that is actually the case. So really looking to finding out some more concrete information about that. I've seen a couple of screenshots. I can't speak to their authenticity, but they are kind of backed up by what we're seeing in testing right now. So really hoping that that is going to be the case. You know, the picture of the silos that I saw that were presumably from Black Sheep had, I think, a 220,000 litre capacity or somewhere around that mark. So yeah, that'll be really nice. Cannot wait for that. In other mod news, I'm getting a lot of people asking me what's going on with the Fendt 800 favourite from Smetty, and the honest answer is I just do not know. I've been looking everywhere to try and find out whether this thing is you know, being worked on and going to be resubmitted. The longer it goes by without seeing or hearing anything, the more it you know, it leads me to believe that Smetty has given up, which is a little bit of a, you know, a worry. You know, I hope that's not the case. You know, I really wanted to get that tractor, as you know, for Fendt Farm. But on top of that, you know, Smetty is one of the contest winners. So he's had a DLC proposal submitted, and if this potentially works against him a little bit, you know, I mean, if I was at Giants and someone submitted a vehicle pack as a DLC proposal, and at the same time, bearing in mind that the DLC is a commercial thing, so needs to be, you know, something that's going to work on all formats, PCs, Macs, and consoles. You know, for a modder to have a vehicle that's going through and then just give up on it, while at the same time trying to win a DLC proposal, which is all vehicles, that kind of sets off an alarm bell in my head. I don't know. Maybe I don't know. This Smetty has done stuff for console before, so I don't know if he's done a vehicle for console before, but he has done some mods for console before. But yeah, I just don't know what's going on with this Fendt 800. I really hope that it is just being worked on and will be resubmitted. But for whatever reason, there just doesn't seem to be any information out there. Smetty doesn't even seem to have, you know, a presence anywhere on the forums that I've been able to find. So I just don't know what's going on with the Fendt 800, honestly. I really wish I did. I really wish I could say either way, it's, you know, it's being worked on and it's coming back, or, you know, it's not being worked on, Smetty's given up on it. I just wish I knew, you know, and I don't mind waiting for the mod. I have absolutely no issues with that whatsoever. It's the uncertainty which is causing all the issues, because everyone's asking me what's going on and I have absolutely no idea. I really wish I did. So hopefully we'll find out more information in the future and that will change, but as things stand right now, it's looking more and more likely that that will not now be coming to console. But if anything changes and we do find out anything concrete, I will obviously let you know on my Facebook page straight away. Okay, so we have Lizard on sale. All Lizard machines are on sale for the next 30 hours. We don't normally look at the sales. This is something that I was guilty of. I say guilty of. It was a problem for me with Farming Sim 15 as well. Is that I kept forgetting to check the sales, and I only really did that whenever I got a notification pop up like the one that we've just received to say that such and such was on sale. So let's actually take a look and see what is on sale. Yeah, so having just recently bought a barrel core, we can now buy one 10% off if we really wanted to. What else is there? We could get a truck. Oh, conveyor belts are on sale. And the workshop. Silo storage, hayloft. Oh, wow, that's actually quite a lot. If we needed haylofts, this would be a really good opportunity to buy them. Obviously, we don't have the money, but we have 30 hours, so we have time to raise some money. Oh, and if you wanted a wind turbine, well, there you go. That's very heavily discounted. Normally 1.2 million. Now it's over 100,000 off, 120,000 off. Seed bags. Hey, I tell you what, this is something I haven't even thought about. In obviously these placeable tanks are a lot more expensive than seed. This is something you could perhaps do. Is a thought for you guys that like to work with seed bags and so on and so forth. You could wait until you get a sale from Lizard, and then just buy a huge amount of seed in bulk, and transport it and store it in a building somewhere, perhaps. And that way you could use that seed as opposed to stuff from placeable tanks, and save quite a bit of money using discounted, cheaper seed as opposed to the more expensive stuff in the seeder tanks. Pig food as well. Wow, that's on sale. Again, 10% off that. That would be quite useful if we needed one of those right now. The Mountain Hall variants, well, they're pretty cheap anyway. Even the money box cheat, that's on sale as well. So there's quite a lot of stuff there. Nothing that's really overly, necessary for us at this stage. I mean, it'd be great to have increased storage, but we have 300,000 litres of storage that we don't really need any more of that. We don't need a pickup truck just yet. I'm surprised that's the only conveyor belt. Are the other ones by someone else? Yeah, the other one's by Grimmer. Of course. Would have been nice to have the whole set, but never mind. Oh, right, so slurry is done. So let's get our slurry tanker up and running on field 20. Where is our grass seeder? See, he's making steady progress. It's going to take him probably the rest of the day to plant grass on these two fields. I think he must be way down the bottom somewhere. I think I can just make him out. Nope, still can't see him. There's a bit of scenery. Where is he? He's got to be down here somewhere. Just out of draw distance. Oh yeah, you can see the stagger in the seed line. Look, he'll start popping into existence in just a moment. There he is, just fading in. Our little 4-metre seeder got a lot of work ahead of him there to do that field. It is a big one. This is my own stupid fault for not checking the plough states last time out. If I'd known, if I'd checked, then I could have cultivated that with the with the culti plough, but I just didn't pay attention and just cultivated it with our horse cultivator, and as such we're now in the situation we're in, where we've had to spend money on 25 grand or so buying a seeder and seed it with grass. But hey, we're going to get a silage operation up and running out of it, so maybe it's not all bad. Just checking in on our case over here, our Optum, to see how well we're doing with our canola planting. And we're actually doing quite well. We've done more than half the field. We're almost out, so at the end of this pass we're going to do a little refill. We've actually got a placeable tank right in front of us, which is always helpful. That's worked out really well, actually. So we'll fold up. It's not a lot of seed, not a lot of field left to seed. We've done quite a lot there, and we definitely probably would have, I'd say definitely, I'm pretty confident we would have run out before we'd even completed the next pass. So seeing as we're here and the seed tank is right in front of us, it makes sense to top up at this point here. Time that kind of really, really well. Pop open the lids. Oop, I've driven straight past the seed tank. There we go. So we'll get this refilled and then back to work on the field again. Ooh, okay, so we've actually run out of slurry. That caught me by surprise. I honestly thought we'd have more than enough for that. Oh well. Well, I'll tell you what, let's change from the slurry tank to just buy, and we'll hire a worker to just finish off the field. And then once that's done, we'll have to switch over to manure for our other two fields and use that as a fertilizer, assuming that we have the money for a fertilizer. Sorry, for a manure spreader. Let's check the market prices again. You see, it's not really looking good for our sunflowers right now. Everything's terrible. We've got 3 prices in the red, and the other one isn't a great price, and it's falling as well. Oh dear. Our soybean isn't faring much better. 1680 is not a brilliant price on this map for soybean. Yeah, we've had much higher than that before, and that's falling as well. So I guess we're hanging on to our grains a little bit longer. 808 is not bad for wheat, but we only have 8,000 litres. So we won't even make $8,000. We'll probably make about $6,000. It's just not worth it at this stage. Yeah, that's a bit of a shame. Alright, we'll let this guy finish off, and then, as I say, we'll have to try and figure something out for manure. So our worker has finished off planting canola. Time for us to go and plant some corn, I believe, now that we have that field cleaned off. So let's change our seed type. There we go, that's corn. We'll head over to field 6 and plant on there. That's a pretty big field. I am still trying to figure out whether or not to chew up all these sidelines, make some extra width, and then narrow narrow the field at this side, and then turn these sides here, push those right out to the hedges, narrow it there, narrow it at the bottom end, and change where the headlands are. Basically, change the orientation of the field. I think we'll probably end up with a bigger field if we do it that way. It's a lot of work involved, though. Maybe after the next harvest we'll do that. We'll see. I'll probably wait now actually until that field actually does need a plough, and then we'll do it at that point there. Kill 2 birds with 1 stone kind of thing. Alright, so let's get planting some corn on field 6. And our slurry is done, so we can get this back to the farm. Get everything cleaned off, put away, and then ready for more grass planting. It's going to take, like I say, probably the rest of the day to get those 2 fields planted with grass. So we may have to see if we can come up with something else to do. We're probably going to do maybe a little bit of mowing somewhere. We've got a few different spots on the map where we can actually go in with a mower and just clear out some of those sort of free spots of grass, like this one here, for example. We've got free grass just there. We could actually start work on our silage bunker straight away. So we might well do some mowing. first things first, as I say, we will get this back and cleaned up. And while we're doing that, don't forget to please check out the brand new game on the channel, Cities Skylines. Has finally been released for PS4, and I'm absolutely loving it. It's great. I'm having so much fun with it. I've already learnt from some early mistakes that I made, and I'm running a new city to try and erase those mistakes. But it's a lot of fun. I had a city that I was working on last night, just for a bit of fun, and started putting in high-rise stuff and unlocking some monuments and bits and bobs and getting some trophies. It's a really fun game. I'm really enjoying it. So please do check out my playthrough on that. We're going to have episodes every day for this week, and then we'll probably go to twice a week from next week onwards. And that's going to be a pretty long-running series. What I want to do is I actually want to take, I want to find a map that I really like, because I think it's 12 maps that we can build on. When I find the right map, I'm actually going to start a full sandbox and just run that town until we pretty much fill the entire map. So we'll see how well we do with that. That'll be sort of a little bit further ahead in the plans for that series, but that's kind of where I'm looking to go, is to find the right map and then just go full sandbox on it. So these first few episodes have been all about getting to grips with the basics of the game and understanding the control system and how everything works. And then as I get to a point where I'm more comfortable with it, we will just go sandbox on it. So yeah, as I say, that is available now. 2 episodes are already live on the channel, and there'll be another episode every day of the week for the rest of this week, and then next week we'll go to twice a week. I just thought I'd check in here with our little Puma, see how we're doing, and you can see it's starting to get a little bit grey. It's getting a little bit overcast, and you can see how quickly the weather can change. How dark and dull it's going to get. Everything already seems to be a little bit leached. All the colour seems to be leached out a little bit. And you can definitely see the skies are getting a lot darker, a lot duller. Those bright reds that we normally see with the sun shining on them, they're being replaced with kind of dull, washed out colours a little bit, because the light source is very different. Yeah, not looking too nice in the sky now. So it's just about to run out of seed, so we need to go and top this up. We'll do that as soon as it gets to the top of this pass, and yeah, now you can see really is going grey. Look, and it's probably going to be like this for at least another few hours in game, so very miserable. So not only is this guy now completely isolated in his tractor on his own, no one to talk to unless he's got a CV in there. But he's now got horrible skies to look at as well. Although, having said that, it might keep the temperature down in that. I assume this cab's got AC in it. It's going to have some kind of ventilation, surely. Yeah, you can see we've got air vents. Is that air vents? No, that's not air vents. That's a radio and some control knobs, speakers, a cigarette lighter just over there for some reason. I can't see where the obvious air conditioning would be. Maybe this one doesn't have aircon. In which case, maybe this weather is a blessing. Maybe he's not going to be roasting alive in a little box. Who knows? Right, let's get him filled up and then back to work. So I picked up the last little bit of that pallet that was left, the 500 litres or so of seed. That's been dropped into our little wagon at the front. I could have gone all the way back to the farmhouse. Obviously, I can't buy any more pallets because I don't have any loan money available, and we're in a negative bank balance already. So I can't buy anything else, but I did consider the idea of maybe getting an auger to top this up and the other one, but obviously this one isn't going to need topping up. So maybe we'll just get a couple of 1,000 litres of seed. Still got another field to go after this one, so yeah, might as well. Let's, where is the auger? There it is. I kind of experimented with this again on Big Bud yesterday with fertiliser. Let's see if we can do it with seed on this farm as well. We'll make sure I get to the right tank, which is going to be this one. No, this one won't let me do it. Can't put seed in this auger. Is that... See, that one will. Well, this one should. Why is it not letting me fill? Let's put the help menu back on. Yeah, this one won't let me fill up. That's frustrating. That kind of scuppers my plans. I was going to put a chunk of seed in here, but I don't seem to be able to do it for some reason. Am I the wrong way round, maybe? Is it really that picky? Be surprised. So, why could we do it with the avalanche on Big Bud, but we can't do it on this map with this one? Maybe it's because it's too close to the... I don't think that's going to be the case. Ah, well, that kind of scuppers that idea. I was going to stick a load of seed in that and then just transport that up, but yeah, for some reason it just won't let us do it with this particular auger. So, and we don't have the money to try with a different one, but not even on a lease job. So that kind of kills that idea, unfortunately. Let's try and put this back in as we can, without going too wide and wonky with it. And we'll put our Challenger back in the shed. Alright, so while we're waiting for our seeder to continue his long epic journey of seeding everything, we're going to actually go off and do some mowing, and we're going to go mowing somewhere we haven't really gone mowing before. So the plan is, if I find the map for you so I can show you where it is we're looking to head to, we're going to actually attack this area here above field 21. We haven't really been up here before to do any kind of mowing. You know, we've used some points reasonably close to the farm, so we haven't had to go too far with transport. Yeah, because usually we've done it for baling. This time we're going to do it for just for the grass. So once we have all that grass, we're going to scoop it up with our forage wagon, our loading wagon, and then take it to the BGA and start building a bunker over there. Hopefully that's not going to shake the header off. No, those rails are pretty severe. So we're going to take this up to the top, the area just marked on the map, and then when we get there we'll get ready to go, we'll start mowing, and then we'll collect it all with our forage wagon. Alright, so we're just approaching the area now. I did get a little bit clumsy and just pulled out in front of a car and got hit, and that's why the header is kind of hanging off the back of the trailer there. We're going to drop the trailer here where it's out of the way, and so it gives us room to turn and connect up. I don't think any traffic comes down this road, which is going to be helpful as well. There we go. So this is the field that we're going to be attacking. And I'm going to get really close to the fence. And then when we get to the end, I'm going to kind of turn... Well, I'm going to do a lap, and then from there we'll create our nice little border that we can work with. Got to be wary of the turning issue for our loading wagon. I may end up coming up here with a windrower as well if we have one. Actually, I don't know if we actually still have a windrower. We might have sold that. I think we actually sold that off. So yeah, in that case, I'm going to have to be extra careful because I've got to be wary of the turning issues for the loading wagon. So I'll have to be a little bit more shallow on some of these corners, perhaps, than I would prefer to go. And the trick is going to be now to try and hold a straight line all the way down, without getting too close to a fence. Hopefully this should do it. Oh, just a slight kick. Okay, so change the angle ever so slightly. There's quite a lot of grass on here, which although it's not fertilised or anything like that, it will obviously go quite nicely towards our BGA bunker. Give us a good starting total. We're not going to touch field 2, we're going to keep that exclusively for baling, so we'll only use that as and when we need to. And what I'll probably end up doing as well is collecting up all the chaff that we have in the bunker next to our cows, and transfer that up to the BGA as well. So again, I want to get nice and close to the fence. That looks pretty good. Let's see if we can hold this line. That's looking pretty good. Alright, and then from here it's just going to be a case of going up and down and up and down and up and down. Nice and straightforward. So I'll jump ahead with this and catch up with you in a moment. Make quite a lot of grass, as you can see so far. Still got a little bit more of the field to go. Our seeder is still plodding away on field 119. He's been topped up fully since you've been away. He ran out of seed and took him down to the farm, filled him up completely, 1,500 litres of new seed. Sent him back on his way again. I'll have to do the same again soon when he runs out and move him on to field 20, but yeah, we've got a nice big chunk of grass here, as you can see. So this will all go very nicely into our BGA bunker, and then yeah, we'll move on to another grass field and we'll do the same there, and we'll really start to hammer in a load of grass so that when field 119 is done and ready, we can really start to maximise that money. We'll get this guy set up and we'll send him off and just start mowing the field as a worker, and we'll be following behind with the loading wagon, just picking up as much as we can as quickly as we can. So that's kind of the plan for going ahead. But we've pretty much reached the end of this episode. There's not really a lot more that we can get done now other than just continue mowing and wait for that guy to finish seeding. So I'm going to carry on doing these things, and then at the start of the next episode we'll probably collect some of this grass up, dump it in the BGA, and move on to another job. We'll see what happens. So that's it for this episode. We've got Fent Farm coming back on Friday. Second weekly episode of Big Bud will be on Saturday. Massey Manor relaunch is now hopefully just a few weeks away. I am waiting for West Coast to be released, and builders hope to have that released by the end of August. So touch wood, we're only 2 or 3 weeks away from getting that farm back up and running now. And of course we do have the other games as well. We have some Avon Colony that you can see on the channel. I may record a little bit more on that. I may kind of end that one for a little while. I'm going to be bringing Prison Architect back very, very soon. We have obviously the brand new City Skylines on the channel, and Limbo will be going live on the channel very, very soon as well. So lots of new stuff and lots of returns as well to the channel coming up very, very soon, so don't go anywhere. Do make sure you subscribe if you haven't done already. You'll get notifications when all of my videos go live. You can also follow me on my Facebook page at facebook.com/JimBobPlaysGames, where I'll post mod updates and game news and other little bits and bobs, as well as links to my videos there as well. You can always message me in the comments on my videos as well. Please do get involved. You know, if you have questions that you'd like to ask, you can either do so on my Facebook page with the message button, or ask a question in the comments. I do read them all on these videos, and I may not respond to all of them if I don't have the time. If I'm, you know, busy recording when a comment comes through, I will read it and try and respond where I can. If you do have any questions, please do feel free to ask them in the comment section below. So anyway, thanks for watching. I'm Jim Bob, and I will catch you back on the farm very soon.